So, what are the numbers we have for COVID in Brazil, especially in São Paulo, today, June 14th? Well, I have here the numbers that are online, if you wish to see them. It's called Boletim Covid Prefeitura. You have all the numbers, and I checked the numbers June 1st till today. So what do we have? We have two campaign hospitals, Anhembi with 2,000 beds and 1,800 beds, and Pacaembu with 200 beds. On June the 1st, they had 300 people hospitalized in Anhembi and 50, oh no, I'm sorry, this is today. You'll see it's a lot better. Anhembi, the 1st of June, June 1st, 430 for 1,800 beds, and Pacaembu 108 for 200 beds. Total hospitalizations in public hospitals for São Paulo, 1,800 the June 1st. In intensive care units, 740. What do we have today? Anhembi, we had 430. Now we have 300. A lot better. That's a huge difference. Pacaembu 108, now we have 50. So that means that these two hospitals that were built only for COVID now are almost empty. 300 out of 1,800 is 1/6, more or less 15% of occupation. And Pacaembu, which has 50, that's 50 out of 200. That's 1/4 of the beds are occupied. That's very nice. Now let's look at intensive care units. Intensive care units, we had the June 1st, 740 people, now 722. That's very nice too, so it's going down. Why am I analyzing these numbers? Again, for this very reason. There's a lot of political fight around COVID. You know, we have Bolsonaro saying that they've built a lot of hospitals for nothing. We have Doria saying the opposite, that he's saving lives. So, to be out of this political fight and understand what's going on, we need numbers. Cold numbers. Numbers will tell us everything. As we know precisely the number of people that are going to public hospitals, and I'm talking about the general population, that gives us a very good idea of what's going on in the city of São Paulo. With private hospitals, as I've always said since the beginning of my videos, it's fine. We have a lot of beds, absolutely no problems. Einstein, Sírio-Libanês, Oswaldo Cruz, São Luís, all hospitals, they have a lot of empty beds for people who are sick. So people who can pay private insurance don't need to worry. Now, we are worried with what's going on with the population because we live all together, so we need to know. So why do I pick up these numbers from public hospitals? To give us an idea if the epidemic is going up, is stabilized or going down. You see, as we have a fixed percentage of cases that are serious, critically ill or die, we can know if these critically ill or hospitalized patients, if they're on the rise, that means we have more cases. On the opposite, if they're going down, that means we have less cases. And I've checked the numbers for the last 2 weeks. That's a lot. That gives us a very clear idea. What do we have? In Anhembi, we had 430, now it's 300. Pacaembu, we had 108, now it's 50. Hospitalizations in intensive care unit beds, 740, now it's 722. And with 14 days, we have a very large time frame to help us understand. So in the way I see this, in São Paulo, we're better. We're probably on the descent. This is very nice for people who live in São Paulo. Now what about Brazil? Now that's a totally different figure. First, if you watch Globo, you're going to get the wrong picture. Now I've seen it, on my cell phone, they say that we have more cases than UK. Well, of course. In UK, they have less than 70 million inhabitants. We have 212 million. So how can you compare an apple and a tomato? Can you do this? You cannot compare such different populations. Same for United States. 330 million people. Can you compare? No, you cannot. And we'll see what happens when you get to the dead people regarding the 1 million inhabitants. In United States, on May 22nd, we had almost 300 cases. Now 356. 8% more cases, more deaths, which means that in the United States it's still rising, but at least it's rising slowly. You'll see that in the United Kingdom it's rising even more. They had 536 cases on the 22nd of May. Now they have 614. So that's plus 15%. It's the double that what we're seeing in the United States. That's at least for the United States, that's nice. How is it in Brazil? Now in Brazil, it's a nightmare because we had 95 cases and now we have 202. That's 110% more. It's the double, 110% more. But we have to understand that Brazil is not one Brazil. It's a lot of countries inside one country, very different regions. For people who've been to the Amazonian region, people who've been to Salvador de Bahia, people who've been to Florianopolis, they know that Brazil can be absolutely surprising when we see such differences. Regarding people who live in São Paulo, like you and me, what we need to look is at the numbers we have for the city of São Paulo. Now, of course, we need to be worried for Brazil. But again, if you look at the deaths per million people, we're still 3 times less than United Kingdom. This is what Global should say. They should say that we have 3 times less dead people. And regarding United States, we're still far away. The problem with Brazil is that as we probably are on a rise, we don't know where we're going to be in 2 weeks from now. What I'm telling you is from May 22nd. So this is already a good schedule to understand what's going on. In United Kingdom, it's still going up. I don't know if they're opened everything again, but it's on the rise. And it's 15%. It's not a little number. 15% is quite a lot. United States is only 8%. And when you look at France, it's 4%. So you see, in these countries, even though they are reopening, the cases are still on the rise. Now, which countries have done a very good job? I'll tell you just as a matter of curiosity. Germany is wonderful, awesome. 105 dead persons for 1 million inhabitants. 105. That's 4 times less than France. 6 times less than UK. And actually, it's almost 4 times less than United States. And you know who is the champion, according to what I think? You know how many dead people for 1 million inhabitants in Hong Kong? I'll tell you. 0.5. Can you believe this? 0.5. Up to now, as of today, they've had 4 people who died of COVID. 4. Of course, Hong Kong had lived a long time ago, and they've been suffering with SARS because they're very close to China. So they knew how to deal with this. But let's understand that they did a wonderful job. That's very nice of them, and they deserve the applause. Now, in Europe, Germany has done a very good job. Sweden, who has kept almost everything open, just giving recommendations, They are at 434, like France, who has done a full lockdown. But Norway and Denmark, I think they're at 100. So that shows us that when you don't do the lockdown, you have more deaths. This is what I wanted to show you tonight. I hope you all stay safe.